Nambiar, your reaction first to this not to the Central Vista project.
Gargi, this is an excellent decision by the Supreme Court. I think there are few people who are don't wanted to have the development is not the things what they are looking at. Just creating some kind of eyeball and also being in the news, they went for it. It is a project which is bad, required for the new India. India today is not anymore a weak power. We are a superpower, and the Central Vista and the new Parliament building will be a symbol of new India, the young India, and it is going to be a global power. It will be a symbol of a global power, India.
All right, Mr. Nambiar, your reaction to what the Congress and some opposition parties have been alleging, that what is the need for this big show, and the fact is that our economy is in crisis, that we are not doing well on various health indices, on malnutrition in children, etc., etc. So on one hand you're building this massive new Parliament building, and a lot of money is being spent on it, but at the same time what really makes a country a superpower, those are not issues that are being concentrated on.
Firstly, what Tehseen is saying, that alone is a childish argument. One, an economic activity, any construction activity or any infrastructure project itself is an economic activity which will bring employment, which will bring a direct and indirect employment and overall the economic growth. That is what even, in fact, any basic economics will teach all of us. The second part of it is that we have been functioning in a building, a colonial building, from the last 70 years. And why the Congress and the people who support the Congress still argue that why we require a new Parliament building is because they have not been able to do it in the 70 years of independence. They have not been able to create a new Parliament building which requires the modern India, like a person like me, you, and the large 135 crore Indians. They have not been able to do it. If they were not able to do it, they have an issue. If why Modi is doing. The problem is that not about the Central Vista or the problem. If you really wanted to talk about from the efficiency of it or the economics of it, let's have a chat on that particular stuff. Central Vista project is the one which is going to create economic activity in a much bigger way. The most of the buildings which our ministries are functioning today are age old, not at all up to the mark for today's India or today's technological purpose. So we need to have a new landmark which will be the symbol of India.
All right, so let's go across to Mr. Nambiar. You've been talking about how this project is going to be a symbol, this new Parliament building is going to be a symbol of a new India.
Precisely, Gargi. There are few issues. Let's forget about now, since the Supreme Court has already come up with this decision and to given a go-ahead for the project. Now, few things which some of the opposition leaders and as well as some of the environmentalists are talking about is that this is going to make a huge economic issue for the country. This is not really the right time to go for it. And then there may be an environmental issue when this Central Vista project comes. On the contrary, if you really talk to the really experts, I have been following up this project from the very beginning. This project is going to make much better environment and these things for the Lutyens area and especially for the Delhi. The reason being, today most of our ministries are functioning the age-old buildings, and including our Parliament, which is a colonial building which may be more than 80 or close to 100 plus years. So these buildings, with the kind of time which we are living in, these buildings which most of our ministries are functioning, and I'm sure that you as a journalist must have gone to many of these buildings, you will be finding them, they are not up to the mark. This needs to be changed. And most of our ministries are functioning in different buildings, in different parts, bits and pieces. The Central Vista project is going to bring a lot of efficiency and bringing all these things together to make an absolutely a central secretariat.
All right, I'm going to ask Mr. Nambiar your response to that.
I think with the whole, I mean, I'm sure that Mr. Menon is one of Menon is an expert in its field, and I may not be an architect to talk about the real aspect of it. But I feel seriously sad for Congress, the people who supports the Congress on this panel, is that it really feels me sad that after 75 years later also, you have not been, 60 years you have ruled this country, you have not been able to create a new parliament building for India. And if Modi is trying to bring a new parliament building, which will be the aspiration of a new India, why do you have so much of problem? You are talking about
let's take that question to Adil. Your response to that.
1,000 crore rupees project. And today the Supreme Court has also upheld it. At least please welcome this decision, man.
So many thousands of crores which are going to be spent at a time where we're under recession. Perhaps, as Adil says, that maybe in a few years from now we could have had such a project.
No, if that is the logic we have to apply what Adil is saying, let's stop all the projects what is happening in India. Let's stop all the highway project which is taking place. Let's stop all the construction work is happening all across, because we are sorry, we are on our economy is not doing good. There is a COVID situation, so there should not be anything which is happening. I am sorry to say that's a very, very bad economic logic in any standard in anywhere in the world. Any construction activity or any infrastructure projects is going to be one of the key element of an economic activity, which will bring not only employment, which will be both from the supply side and the demand side.
All right, I'm running out of time, so we'll just get comments from everyone.
And I think I am so sorry. I think I only can tell you one thing today, is that it's a victorious day. Even the Supreme Court has said that the Central Vista project is going to go.